Hello everyone, Cynthia here, and I'm here because I want to transplant a Christmas cactus and some other house plants that I have, and I had gathered all my things together, and I had a few things that I had to get, and it's long overdue for me to do these things. So this here is the pot that I'm going to be using to put the Christmas cactus in. And I've already put some soil in there. And in the bottom of the pot, I did like I did with this one. Let me make sure you can see that I put rocks in the bottom just so that the soil won't be coming out, and it'll have a little extra drainage in the bottom of the pot. So this soil, let me show you what I purchased to use. Okay, and this here says that it is, let me get that for you, citrus, palm, and, it says cactus, palm, and citrus potting mix, fast draining. So that's the kind of soil that you want to have for this Christmas cactus. And these plants, they like it kind of cool, like in the wintertime. I put mine toward the window, up close to the window where it's kind of cold in the wintertime here in upstate New York. And it seems to love it there, and it gets plenty of sun. They like bright light. They don't like direct light. They like bright light on it, good light on it, but not direct sun on it. Okay, so I just want to tell you a little bit about the plant. Now this plant is, it usually blooms pretty good for me. Like it usually will bloom for me like twice. And I'll show you what I do to get it to bloom, okay? So let me get the plant and show it to you. It looks a little beat up because it's been way overdue. I have these gloves here. And I'm going to be putting some, I use bone meal. I put bone meal on it. And I take the bone meal and I work it in the soil. So let me just go get the bone meal and I'll be right back, okay? Hang in there. I got the bone meal here, and I have some gloves I'm going to put on my hand because it may get messy. But let me show you the bone meal. And this is organic bone meal, all natural plant food. And that's what I use to put on my plants, and they seem to love it. And it makes this flower, this cactus flower. And also I use it on my other plants that don't flower, but they just like it. And I use this in my garden outside also. So let me get the gloves on. And I'm going to go over here and get my cactus. This I'm going to put in the pot. Okay, here it is. Let me show it to you. I'm going to sit the bone meal over here. And I'm going to sit the dirt over here so we can have more room for me to work in. Now this has been in the original pot ever since I bought it for years. Been needing to be transplanted because the roots are all the way coming out of the bottom of the pot. But these plants do like to be root bound. So you don't want to put it in too big of a pot when you transplant them, okay? Put it in, you can step it up one, I would say even maybe two, but don't go bigger than that, okay? They like to be kind of root bound. I also water my plant like, I water this one like once a week, a thorough watering. They do like to be kind of dry. Okay, so don't go to watering it all the time. You'll probably kill it. Okay, so I'm going to take it out of here. And it's been in there a long time. And it's been in there a long time. Let me put this out of the way. I bought this plant when I was traveling at work. And I used to go to places and stay. And I needed something. I wanted some kind of homey thing there, so I could always grab a plant and take it with me, and that would make me feel kind of homey. So, here it is. And the roots didn't look as bad as I thought they would, but they're very fine. I don't know if you can see them, but they're very fine, little delicate looking little roots. And I watered this plant thoroughly before, you know, I started to messing with it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the pot over here, and I'm just gonna take my hand and kind of move the soil back out of the way and push this down in there. Okay, and I don't quite have enough soil in there, which is what I planned on happening. So I'm gonna get some more soil over here and add more soil around the plant. Okay, so I'm just going to put it up there and then move it around where I need it, okay? So you want to do that and then kind of press it down. And be careful of your plant, because, you know, my plant here is, and put some on this side. You know, I don't want to break it off. Hopefully I won't do that. This is going to be messy, but that's all right. Clean the mess up when you're done. Okay. Now let's see how that's going in there. Because when I water it, you know, it will probably go down more. And I may add some more if it does. If it goes down below the level that it's at, I may add more later. You know, not on camera, but if I notice that once I start watering. You could put a little liquid fertilizer in here if you wanted to add that also. You could do that. I find that the bone meal is all I need. I just put the bone meal. My sister had a cactus, and she had hers. She's like, she has a whole bunch of house plants. I don't have like a lot of house plants. I'm like an outside garden type person. But I have a few house plants that I've had for years. And she has a whole jungle of house plants. But hers never bloomed. And I asked her, did it bloom? Because I saw where she had it sitting. And she says, no, it doesn't bloom. And I told her, I said, you need to move it closer to the window. She had it sitting. It was getting light, but it wasn't close to the light. So she took it and she moved it. I gave her some fertilizer for it. I don't think I gave her bone meal, because what I had at that time was blooming fertilizer, and I told her to put that on it. And I asked her, I said, did it bloom? She said, oh yeah. So just remember that. If you don't want to put bone meal, put some type of blooming fertilizer there for blooming. But I would do that about, I do mine like once, the bone meal, it lasts a while. So I would say I do that like once a year, you know. And you especially want to do it, like I would start doing it around now, to get the plant all happy and everything. So by the time Christmas time and stuff come, it'll be ready to bloom. And if I was using the liquid fertilizer, I might do that twice a year, you know. But test it and watch your plant. Don't over fertilize, don't do anything. It's better to have less and then see how it does than to do too much and kill something, okay? All right, so then I'm gonna take this bone meal here. Open that up. Let me show you what it looks like. See what it looks like? Yeah. And I just put it around. And I work it into the dirt. Work it into the dirt because it's bone. It's food. If you have anything like, when I use this outside, I make sure I mix it up with dirt, cow manure, something, because animals like it. And I have, you know, in my early days of gardening, when I didn't know any better, and I think I put like a tablespoon, like I would say that was like a tablespoon of bone meal in there. But in my early days of gardening, when I didn't know, I just put the bone meal on top, and then I come back and have a hole dug in where some neighborhood dog or something smelled it or something and came over there and dug my plant. So, you know, I have spiders in here. So that's why I'm mixing mine in, because I don't know what spiders eat. But if you know, comment below. And I mix it up in the dirt because, see, and stuff, you know, it don't want to, you know, mess with the dirt. It don't want to eat it then. Okay, so there you go. That's all planted. Let's move this out of the way. We'll move this one out of the way. And then there you go. I think this is a pretty pot too. Okay, can you see it? So I have it in the pot. And it kind of grew one-sided because the pot I had it in was too small and I never really rotated the plant. But I'm going to start rotating it now and taking, it's always bloomed good for me, okay? So there it is. Turn it around for you so you can see it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take and I'm going to water it. I'll do that off camera. I'm going to water the plant. Then I'm going to take this plant, and I have like a tub, a little plant tub. I'm going to put some water in there, and I'm going to sit this in there and let the water come up from the bottom and water the whole pot real good so they can start out very well watered. Then after that, I usually will do once a week watering. But you can test your plant. Put your finger in there, test your plant, because these tend to like to be more on the dry side. Okay? All right, so now let me go to the other little plant. I'm going to get that over here, all right? I'm going to show you what I'm going to use on this one. I purchased this from, I think it was either Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't remember which one. But the brand is the Expert. Can you see that? No, you can't. Let me get it over here. Expert potting mix, okay? And it says on here that it helps grow bigger plants with more blooms, and it has a money back guarantee, and it says specially formulated for indoor and outdoor container plants. So hopefully this is some good dirt. All right, so I'm gonna set that up. I'm gonna open it up first. I got some scissors here, and I'm going to open this bag. Now, I have chosen this little plant here. My sister gave me a little cutting off of a plant that she had, because I told you hers is like a jungle. And I've had it rooted in water. And I'm going to take it now, and I'm going to, when she gave it to me, it only had one leaf, and it grew this other part. It only had this big leaf here, and it grew this here in the water, okay? I don't know too much about this plant, but all I know is I'm going to test it with my finger. I'm going to put it on the once a week watering like I do with the cactus and my other plants, and then I'm going to just see how this plant does. If it needs more water, if it need, I'll go by that. Judge each plant, and I'll make sure that I give it good light, because this here plant I had where the Christmas cactus was, and it liked it and it grew there, so it liked good light too. All right, so I'm gonna set that back there for a minute. Now I have chosen this pot, pretty pot, and I have put the stones in there. Let me spread them back out. Okay, in the bottom. I didn't have to water this plant, because as you can see, it's in water, so it didn't need water. So I'm just gonna take and put, the dirt looks good, it feels good. I could have put this plant in a smaller pot if I wanted to. I didn't have a smaller one. This was the size I had, and I think it'll be okay. I have a couple of plant books, and I usually like to look up plants and stuff like that and see what the name of them are and what they like and all that. For house plants. Because I'm not a big house plant person, but I know that I keep my house plants alive, and that's the most important things. I don't kill them. So I figure that's good. All right, so I'm gonna take this little plant here, and I'm just gonna make a little place and put it in this dirt. Try to center it in the pot. Press it down around the roots with your fingers gently, so that those roots can really kind of, enjoy that new home that they have. I'm going to take this bone meal here. I got a spoon, and I'm just going to get like, this is a smaller plant, so I'm just going to kind of sprinkle a little all around, and that's enough. And you don't have to worry about the bone meal damaging or burning or anything like that, because it's not going to do that. It's all natural. This plant looks happy already. Looks like it is happy. It's been in there a long time. Okay, now I'm going to add some more dirt to it to bring it up. But you don't want to put too much dirt, so that when you're watering, that you have a mess. So just put enough so that when you water, everything stays in the pot. I got some dirt around the stem, and I don't really want that there, so I'm going to just take it out. Let's see how that looks over there. Yeah. Okay, so that's all I'm going to put. I'm not going to add anymore. I think that's a good level. But if I find once I start watering this that it needs more, I would just add a little bit more dirt to the pot. But right now it's looking good to me. So I have this one all done, and I think it looks beautiful. And we got the bone meal in there, and I'm gonna sit this in the tub also, and I'm gonna water it from the top a little bit, and then I'm gonna sit it in the tub and let all the water come in from the bottom. And these do have drainage holes in the bottom. You must have drainage holes in your pot. That's all I can tell you. I don't buy pots that don't have drainage holes. And if they do, if they don't have a drainage hole, I'll put a drainage hole in it. I'll buy a pot that I know I can put a drainage hole in, okay? Because it's too much guesswork and it's just not good not to have a drainage hole. Okay, so we're going to take this one and put it aside. Okay, I have this plant. It's big. You can't even get it all on the picture. It was about maybe right here. See where my finger is right here? It was about that size when I bought it, and it's done all this growth. And it's been suffering and it needs to get out of this pot, okay? So I'm going to sit that right there, and I'm going to show you. Now this plant right here, how I've been taking care of the plant, I've been watering it once a week. I usually try once a week with my plants. So I've been watering this plant once a week. I use the bone meal in here. It seemed to like the bone meal. It likes the water once a week. And you know, I try to take my water and have something that I keep water in and let it sit at least 24 hours for the chlorine to dissipate, so that then you can water your plants with it, if you can do that. But sometimes I forget to do it, and I don't have water ready, and I'll use just regular tap water. But if you can remember to do that, do that. They like that too. Okay, so I have the rocks in here, and I'm just going to show you if you can see that hole in the bottom. Has a hole in the bottom, and I'm just spreading my rocks back out. And I'm going to take that same potting mix that I used, and I'm going to put some in here. With this pot, I'm not going to put a whole bunch at first because this is sort of a bigger plant. And I think I'm going to try to put the plant in there and work the dirt around it, okay? And I'm going to add some bone meal, a couple of layers. Since this is a bigger, I think it's a bigger plant. It seems to be hungrier to me. I just noticed when I was caring for the plant, it just seemed to be liking more fertilizer and more stuff. So I'm not going to put a lot, but I'm going to sprinkle a little in there. And then I'm going to sprinkle some more on the top. And just mix that around. And you can do this with all your house plants. You can do this with any house plants that what I'm showing you right now. This is how you do it. Get you some, start out with some good potting mix. Your soil is so important. Don't get at first, this is kind of wet. So let me take this to the side, okay? Hold on. I watered this plant also, so it's kind of dripping, as you can see. But you're going to see this one is really root bound. It's going to be hard to get this one out of here. There you go. Now look at that. See? It's really, really root bound. So what I'm going to do is gently, ooh, these roots are hard. I'm just going to gently kind of take my hand and mess with them, you know, kind of loosen. But I'm trying to hold on to the dirt because the dirt seems to be falling apart on me. But these roots are in a circle, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right over here. I'm going to cut over there because we want to break that circle up. You don't want it growing in the circle because it won't grow properly. The roots won't be able to spread out and grow. And that's the whole point of me putting this in this pot, so that it can spread out and grow. So it looks like I'm really brutalizing it, but it needs this to happen because it was so severely root bound. Okay, so now I'm going to take it and put it in that pot. Now, this is going to get nasty. I'm just going to take dirt and start putting it around. And I'm trying to hold it because until it gets dirt around it, it's vulnerable. You know, the stem that has no support. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of press down on it. I saw these in a book. I can't, I think this plant here will get pretty big. So I'll probably be, you know, it'll probably love it in here, and then I'll be transplanting it again. I think it's a plant that will get pretty big. Like, you know, you could sit it on the floor in the pot, I think, when it really gets growing. All right. After I finish, I'm going to look in my plant book and see if I can find the name of the plant, and I'll tell you more in detail. I'll put it across the screen if I find something on it. Okay. This kind of dirt kind of has some little twigs and little stuff like this in it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking those out. I don't want those in there. And I'm going to add a little more in here. And hopefully I didn't put it down too deep. I don't think I did, but we'll see. Now I'm going to add a little bit more. Remember, I put some bone meal in there. I'm going to add a little more around the top. You don't need a lot. And mix it in with the dirt. And then I'm just going to rub around, mixing. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it in the tub. I'm going to put a little water in here first, and then I'm going to sit it in the tub and let the water come in from the bottom. And I'm going to add a little bit more dirt. It seems like it needs it to me. I'm just kind of putting it toward the outside of the pot. All right. So, here's this one. You can't really see the whole plant, but maybe I'll take a picture of all of them when I get them all done, okay? All right, so that's that one. And it's looking happy already. Let me get the other one, all right? Okay, this one. I'm going to take it out of here. You can see what it's in. You can't see the whole thing, but I'm going to take it out of here and then you'll be able to see it. This was a rooting that I did. Okay. Set that over there. This is the plant. I have a big plant and it was getting too big, so I cut some off of it and then I put it in water and rooted it. So this is it. And I'm just gonna lay that right there. And while I pull the other pot over here, then I'm gonna put this one in. And here's the rocks in the bottom. I got them, make sure they're over the hole. And I'm gonna add some dirt. Getting those twigs out of there. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up on it, please. And if you're new to my channel, go check it out. See the other things that I do. And if you like it, subscribe. Comment below and tell me what you think. Do you have any house plants that need transplanting, and have you transplanted any? Or just come on and say hello. Okay, I'm going to cut this root. I'm going to cut it. Now one of them, I'm going to make sure it's got a root on it. One of them I can see has a whole bunch of roots on it. See that? But one of them, they kind of mixed, okay? So I'm going to cut it. And you can cut roots. You can prune roots also. You can prune them. You know, like if you got a plant and you're trying to keep it in a certain size pot, you can root prune that plant. I do that too. I haven't had a plant for years and done that to it and kept it in the same pot because I didn't want it to get bigger. Okay, so I'm going to see. Still think it's a little bit too long. I don't want to cut too much of it. Give it a serious stress problem. I'm not going to cut any more on it. Okay, so I got that. I have that in there. And this is a vining plant, so it's going to, I probably need a support for it, to tell you the truth, because it's been used to having a support. You know, because it wasn't allowed to, it didn't vine in that container I have it in. So let's see how this one gonna do. I'm gonna put some more dirt in here. Do you have a lot of house plants? You could probably teach me a thing or two about house plants. But at least I keep mine alive. They don't die on me. They get pretty. I just don't have a lot of them because I prefer outside. Do you prefer outside or inside? Comment below. I want to hear from you. Okay, that's holding up okay. I'll add some more dirt to it. Bring it up to level. I'm just trying to firm it in real good. Now, I'm going to put the bone meal right on the top of this one. I'm not going to add any in the layer. Because these are pretty tough plants. I'm going to try to find the name of this one too and let you know the name of it. Now this particular plant can take some low light. It likes bright indirect light, but it can take a little less light if you have a spot that you know, gets bright light at a certain time. It can take a little abuse. I do the same thing with this one, once a week watering. Then I kind of just fill my plants and see if they need more water. And if they do, you know, water it. Okay, so that's in there. And I'm going to get my spoon and get some bone meal. I'll sprinkle some of this around. I don't want to put too much. These plants can take some abuse. They can take some abuse. I've had mine. Oh, the mother plant for this, man, I've had that plant over 20 years. And like I told you, I keep root pruning it. And I just take it and root prune it. Every once in a while, plants too. Get the shower on gentle. You don't want it blasting. Put it on gentle. You know, if you got a handheld shower head, that's the best. You can hold it and just shower your plant. Wash all the leaves and everything off real good. And then look and see how beautiful. Your plant is going to love it. Trust me on that one. I do it on this particular plant here. I wouldn't do it on the Christmas cactus. And I wouldn't do it on, I've never done it. Well, I'll put it like this. I've never done it on the Christmas cactus. I've never done it on the little plant that my sister gave me. But on this particular plant, any type of vining plant that hangs down, I've done it on those type of plants. And they love it. So here it is. And I'll show you a picture of all of them as soon as I get them together, okay? All right, so you like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Go check out my channel if you like it. Boom, subscribe, okay? I do a lot of outside gardening things, and I'm just getting warmed up to do more. Okay, so I'm going to take these gloves off so I can touch this camera here. And then I'm going to put all the plants here for you to look at, all right? Hold on. Okay, here are all the plants together. And we have here the Christmas cactus. We have the little transplant that my sister gave me. We have the other plant here that I told you was, you know, really root bound there. And then we have that one. And then we have this one here. The one that I had rooted in the water from my mother plant. So that's all the plants. And I just wanted to show you something here. I got these trays and I have the plants on these here. And I got this from the Dollar Tree. And I think you get 3 of these in a pack for $1. And they don't hold any weight. So if you lift it up, you have to support it. But they do keep the water from going on your furniture. So that's what you need. You need some type of tray underneath your pot, okay? Also, I found I had this book. It's an old book, but it doesn't matter. Plant names and stuff, you know, that's something that you can have. I got this at the library sale. And let me just flip to the page, okay? And I think this is that big plant there that was so root bound, and there's the name of it. And it's the I can't even talk. Y'all see it, Dracaena. That's the name of it. Average to warm minimum temperature at night, 62 to 65. And it'll tolerate maybe lower 50 degrees. And it says diffuse sunlight or partial shade. Watering never allowed to soil to dry out, though do not saturate it. So there you go. And that's for that plant. So if you're interested in trying to get any of these plants that I have, the ones that I can find, I tried to, you know, tell you something about it. Now here's the other one. that I had to, I'm trying to fold this page over here on the side, y'all, and hold the camera. Here's this other one that I told you I had a mother plant of that I keep root pruning, devil's ivy. And depending on your light in your room, you'll get these variations. And mine is in constant filtered light. So see, I don't have too many variations in mine. But anyway, that's what it looks like. And it doesn't really tell you about the care, but I already told you what I do for it. So that's it for now. And I just wanted to share this information with you and show you how I did transplanting. Okay, if you have any questions, comment below, and I shall see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.